Hi, Will from Music Tech here at Superbooth in Berlin with Tim from Nektar. Tim, you've got some new integrations with Presonus Studio One, I hear.
Yep, that's right. We're known for our custom integration. Obviously, we write directly with the DAW, customized protocols rather than using MCU where possible. It's been great to be able to do this with Studio One. Presonus gave us a way in, and of course we were happy to oblige. So I'll give you the briefest overview I possibly can. One of the big advantages of not using MCU is we can do things like, as soon as you press the mixer button, what you're focused on, what you're controlling can be linked up with the DAW, so up pops the mixer button at the same time. You see if I move the fader, it doesn't actually affect the mixer until it catches up with the position. That's due to our soft takeover. If you don't want to use soft takeover, because some of the feedback we get from our customers is they don't want it, they just want to be able to make it work, you can just hold shift now and it will jump to the position. And you can override soft takeover with shift and the modifier button below fader 9 as well.
Okay.
Another thing about not being limited to MCU is that normally with MCU, your 9th fader is your master volume, but reality is how often do you tweak the master volume during a session? Not that often.
Yeah.
So for us, it's the selected track volume. As I change the track using the control, you can see that this will then follow the selected track. So you've always got your selected track volume, which is far more useful than master volume.
Right.
Right there above normally your left hand as you're playing. And everything's based on selected track, as a keyboard player, that's what the focus is. You hold down the modifier, there's your master volume control.
Okay.
Going very quickly through the rest of mixer mode. Pans with track names. You've got sends for the selected track. And when you turn the control, you can see that it gives you the track name and it telling you which effects it's going to, always, useful, really informative feedback.
Yeah.
Macro controls are custom for Studio One. So you've got 8 macro controls per patch, and you've got the control of those. You've got the control of those from Panorama. So that's where the nice thing about doing a custom integration is you can take advantage of the unique features of a DAW, like macro controls in Studio One.
Right.
And you've got automation, right on and off, auto, latch read, and then shift and right to turn automation off completely on the selected track. Again, always the selected track. And then we go to instrument, because this is where the real benefit is for Panorama, for Studio One users. It's the instrument mapping. All of the Studio One instruments are mapped by default, with a common standard of cutoff and resonance for the filters. Not just 8 controls, the faders are mapped to the encoders by default. And if you want to modify that, preset navigation, always good. But if you want to modify that, you extend the menu and you've got learn, and then we'll do E1 Auto next because that's very cool. You basically just select the parameter you want to set on a new control. I want to put the key on there instead, which like so. I don't know why it's not working, but there we go. Oh, the filter has to be on. That would help. And then you move you press learn, and it learns it to the last sent control. So I want to put this. I'm on the wrong display. Sorry about that. So I want to put the velocity on there. Move the velocity. Hit learn, and there it is. It's right there on that control. So you can set up the parameters you want. That's stored with the instrument, not with the individual instrument, but literally for every project that you're in, that instrument now has these mappings.
Right. Okay.
If you want to access further, deeper, you can of course use the learn, but you can also use E1 Auto. This is a great little feature, unique to Studio One at the moment, where whichever parameter I hover over, I have control of that parameter in the mixer. I can go to different tracks, different windows. I can even go into MIDI effects and change the range from my chord and things like that. So all of through different windows. Really, really nice way and lightning fast way of writing automation, because that's the thing. It's
so you can literally just basically grab any control.
And
just whatever you're hovering over.
Anything you're hovering over, there you go. Done. Third-party plugins can't do the mouse over, but it's a little click and you off.
Yeah, sure.
So that's third-party plugins as well as all the others. Yep.
And so is that using the scroll control?
No, it's not.
Okay.
That's a good point. So if I hover over the pan, for example, let me go to the focus page, because this is actually what a lot of Studio One users would like to see. That little selected parameter up there is now brought to life on our display here as a much bigger one. And you can see that as I move it, I've got very fine resolution, or I've got a broad swing left to right, a pan. So it's velocity sensitive.
So this is
so it's not mimicking the scroll wheel. Otherwise,
okay.
you'll be like this to get to the
Right,
value.
right, okay.
So it's far more useful than some of the solutions that have been like that in the past, because we're not doing the scroll wheel. Yeah.
So it's all about getting hands-on control on the Nektar keyboards over Presonus Studio One, and this visual feedback in the screen that's in the. And how many of your keyboard controllers does it work with?
So obviously the Panorama T4 is on show here. We're also going to be bringing this out for the Panorama P series and for the Pacer floor controller, and then the LX Plus range already has Studio One integration to a level anyway. So all your Nektar controllers are going to be working with Studio One as standard, and then it's a free update for Studio One users.
Okay, this is a firmware update, is it? Or
no, you just when you have a Nektar controller, you register it in your account. Everyone who's registered Studio One as their DAW they're using, it will appear on May the 21st. It will appear in their account. Okay. And they literally double-click the installer. That's done. Next time you start up Studio One, there it is for you.
You've got the additional control.
And it's a free update.
Brilliant. Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, guys.